Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 535. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
The returning one, Mr. Adam Vale.
Brooklyn for life, take it.
And Brian Manjoma.
It's been a crazy half year.
It really has, hasn't it, you know?
It's half already?
Yeah, it's half, yeah. It's about to be half in the next week, you know? Actually, technically it'll be half when July starts. Yeah, when July starts. Yeah. We're almost there, though. We're almost there. All right, a couple of missing people. We don't know where the hell Richard is. Like, yo, where's Richard Bailey doing here?
Who's in the chat? Because I don't see the chat. Who's in the chat?
Barry Burton right now. He's hanging out.
Yo, Barry, do I sound different? Because everybody's like, yo, you sound different with the mic. I could have I've been using this mic for a while, at least with the settings. I don't know. You let me know, because everyone said that once I switched, they think that I was using my webcam mic and not.
You sounded normal, but you know, we'll let the
let the people
decide.
They'll know. Yeah. How I hear.
Yeah. Chris is taking a night off. He's tired, needs to rest. Manny is actually in the city right now at a Bear McCreary concert. Yes, that Bear McCreary, the God of War composer. So that's pretty cool. Manny actually knows Bear McCreary, and I think he has some like VIP stuff going on too. So nice. pretty good stuff there. I was joking. I was messing around with Manny earlier because he was like, "I'm gonna go see Bear McCreary." I'm like, "That's not metal. Like, what are you doing?" You know. And then he sends us a picture of the show. Gene Hoglan's playing fucking drums. Like, okay, that's metal enough for me. You know. So that's pretty awesome. He said,
I remember I used to, Lombardi, man. I used to follow him from everywhere, from Slayer.
Oh, Lombardo, yeah, Dave Lombardo, yeah.
Yeah, Lombardo. He worked with Mike Patton. They had a band.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was the name of it? I've seen them live. They opened for Tool.
There was a few. There was Anyway,
it'll
come to me.
Yeah. Anyway, this is not the metal show. But yes. Brett's still recovering, obviously. So you got the four of us tonight. But maybe Rich will show up. Who knows? I'm legit. Like, what the fuck happened, Rich? I've been talking to him all day. He didn't say anything about him not being on. You know, but it is what it is, man. So, interesting week in gaming. I wouldn't say any megatons happen, but a lot of little microtons happen and some funny stuff. Like the lead thing we're going to talk about here.
Phantomas. That was it. Phantomas.
That's right.
Phantom. Yeah. With Mike Patton and him and Phantomas.
I saw them live. Yeah, they were good.
Yeah. So they were good.
Yeah.
Each side of the stage battling. He put the drums on. He had the gong, bong, gong. All right, whatever. Let's go.
Can't have a proper show without a gong, man. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. We need the Throwdown gong. You know, fuck that.
We'll get the effects. Yo, Carlos, you got all the effects.
Yo, Carlos, we need that Mortal Kombat gong.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, did they put in the notes about Akuma?
Oh yes, we're gonna talk about Akuma.
What's going on with him and the Roman Reigns?
Oh yeah. I got that. And actually, we got both Akuma stories tonight because he's also appearing in Monster Hunter, and you get to fight monsters with your fists.
What?
It's crazy. All right. Anyway,
it's like real life.
Yeah, man. So we're starting things off with Adam's boy Randy Pitchford. Woo! He stepped in it again, bruh. So basically, I believe this is on Twitter. Somebody, he was talking about Borderlands 4, which I believe is coming, and somebody asked him, somebody said, Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feel this notion of constant increase of the price tag. You are the CEO. You have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher. And this is his response. A, not my call. B, and this is what got him in hot water. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. He did say my local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. As you saw by Adam, I'm guessing this is the first time you're hearing this. That's the reaction everybody had. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, we saw it many years ago now. Remember with the whole Sony rep saying, with the price of the PlayStation 3?
Yeah, this
Remember
is
that?
Kasserai, bro. This
Yeah,
is
exactly. He
Kasserai.
was like, "Oh, get a second
Get a second
job. It's
job.
the same." Come on now, that's tone deaf. Don't say that shit. It was like, "Oh, we're just blow it up." Like, hey, like he said the first time, not my call. Leave it at that. Not your call. Shut up. Then shut
Yeah.
up. Don't put your 2 cents because it's gonna be wrong, especially if that's what's the voice saying in your head. Oh yeah, let me come up with this shit and tell them my story. Nope, don't do that. Don't do that. Let it go. No. I hope they don't.
Yeah,
really
but just the tone deafness. And Carlos,
Yeah.
man, didn't that also reek of like, don't you all have cell phones? Like, bro,
Yeah.
what the
This-
fuck?
This is the type of hubris you should have when you release games like Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. Like those are the only times where it's like you can kind of get away with it. Borderlands is not the franchise
Not at
as
all.
we saw with the movie that is garnering that much attention. So with the game, it's been how many years since Borderlands 3, which is the direct prequel to
Like
it?
4 or 5 years or something like that?
Yeah, I know it came out around the time the PS5 did because remember there was that boost version.
Oh no, not Borderlands 3. Has
Borderlands
been out
3.
for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's the most recent one though.
It is, but that's the point. It's been wow. Here's the thing. I even if this was Grand Theft Auto, they probably could get away with it, but it would still come off bad, Yeah. But with that franchise, you could say that. You could be like, yo, you've been waiting for 13 years. You want this shit. You're gonna make it happen. Very arrogant, but I can understand it. This is Borderlands, bro. No one gives a fuck. Borderlands heyday has been long gone. This isn't the Borderlands 2 days. And even back then, I don't think you get away with it,
His whole theory or his whole
Reasoning for it, yeah.
his reasoning for to buy it, where he mentions that what he did as a kid and all the jobs he worked to get what he wanted. It's like that only works when you're talking about the one game you really want. But in today's day, Borderlands is not that game. So
No, it's not.
you're in a competition with everything else, and Borderlands is not going to be in the top 5 of most people's playlists. It's just not. You got Fortnite, you got GTA, you got Call of Duty, you got all these games. Borderlands is more of let's be real. It's a lot of people love the game, but it's more of a supplementary game.
Yeah.
It's a game that people love to play alongside the other games that they love. It's not their top games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy playing it, but it's not one of those day one I gotta go get. It's not on that level. And when they drop, and here's the thing: we all know there will be an $80 version because it's an $80 version. You had the deluxe and ultra and all that. They come to tiers.
Yeah.
And we know the tiers aren't going away, even if they do make the base one $80. They'll just be one for $90 or $100 and up. So, don't.
He did issue some bullshit apology, but it still looks bad,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brian, what are your thoughts, bro?
Such a dumb thing to say. I mean, okay, fine. You might find a way when you were a kid, that's fine, but this is not the same time. Everything's different, to now. You can't just make it happen like that. It's not, things are not the same. And it's such an arrogant statement. It's like, oh yeah, the millionaire tells people, oh yeah, find a way. It's like, oh, go fuck yourself, mate.
Yeah.
It's just, it's ridiculous.
It's
So
insane.
yeah, I don't accept any apology. And maybe if Borderlands 3 was was somehow better rated, better judged, was just 100% better than Borderlands 2, possibly you could make that statement. But Borderlands 3 it's just not on the same level as 2, so you're kind of at a loss there. And plus, since the Borderlands film came out, it just seemed like a weird statement to make.
Wait.
So, what's up?
Sorry, Brian. Because I started Googling because I was curious. I said I Googled how many copies Borderlands 3 has sold. It says over 18 million.
No way.
What?
It's
No
been on
way.
a lot of platforms though.
That's
That's
horse
been on
shit.
a
That's
lot of-
horse shit.
Because remember, all right. So remember when it came out on PC, it was exclusive.
How many did
to
Borderlands?
Epic
Hold
for a
on.
year.
No, I don't believe that. What about Borderlands 2?
Borderlands 2.
Yeah, please look that up. There's no fucking way Borderlands 3 sold that many. And if it did, maybe that's why he feels so much hubris. You know?
Maybe the hubris is justified. No.
Damn, I think we learned something tonight. You know, maybe it is justified. I guess Borderlands is that game. That's crazy to me. No way. Please tell me you didn't get that from VG charts.
No. So obviously the first thing that comes from Google searches is the fucking Gemini thing.
Fuck
But
that.
I'm trying to see.
Oh, my answer is even worse.
Uh-oh.
Also from Gemini, 22 million.
Yeah, Game Industry Biz. Borderlands 2 has sold 22 million units to date.
What the fuck?
Franchise-
Damn.
Franchise has sold 48 million. This is before Borderlands 3. 48 million for the franchise before Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 3. Damn. Oh, okay, maybe he's justified in saying that bullshit.
I was not
after,
familiar with your game.
No, it's not. I thought this shit fucking bombed. You know, like at least according to like when that shit first came out, people were fucking pissed.
Well,
you know,
it was having issues, and then there was that whole exclusivity deal that they did with Epic. It wasn't going to be on Steam. Remember, people were flipping out. I was like, "Oh, the other ones are on Steam. Why isn't this?" And it was there for I think a year or so.
What the
exclusive,
fuck?
Yep.
time exclusive. But when it did come over, people bought it.
Yo,
they bought it.
Adam, check. Oh, my mind is fucking blown right now. In May 2027, May 27th, 2020, the game had already crossed 10 million copies.
Yeah, Borderlands 3.
Wow.
Makes sense because then they
All right,
double-dipped.
I issue apology to Randy Pitchford.
They doubled it because they made. I remember because I reviewed the game, and then that's when they double dipped and they made that Ultra Edition. It was like an expansion pack to support the PS5.
What
and all
the
power it
fuck?
had, and the Series X. So that was a whole.
Jan,
other
yeah, made a
dip.
video. Oh, it's it's the fastest selling game for 2K. Damn, Adam, I don't know, bro. This is crazy. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's big. It's big. But the thing is that at that price, that's the thing. At that price, I don't.
What the fuck?
They could say all that, but I'm sure a lot of that wasn't at the regular price because it went on sale on almost every platform has had it multiple times on sale.
What the
I'm sure a large
fuck?
majority of people have picked it up when it was
Yo,
on sale.
this goes to show you what happens when we don't pay attention to a game. Check this shit out. The game sold over 5 million copies in its first 5 days and reached 8 million by the end of 2019. That's when it came out. So it already sold. What the fuck?
We know we talked about looter shooters are very popular, especially co-op ones. Look at the Division 2. It's still running, and people are like, "What? There's more DLC? Year 7? What?"
By 2022, it had sold. Brian, go ahead because I'm going crazy right now.
I don't. I was just about to say, don't you mean 5 million players?
No, 5 million copies, and we're gonna talk about that players bullshit. No, Brian, this is back before the players bullshit. Let me run this down. This is some interesting shit. Okay, so first 5 days out, 5 million copies, 8 million by the end of 2019. By 2022, it had surpassed 15 million. By 2023, over 18 million. And now 2025, over 22 million. Maybe Randy Pitchford was onto something, bro.
Maybe.
We'll see.
And I guess if these numbers are legit, it makes sense why they wanted to release a movie because they obviously thought that there was something there.
Because we all thought that like Borderlands movie, this franchise is washed up. Who the fuck wants to watch that? We apparently weren't paying attention.
I was expecting when I searched it, I was expecting like 2-3 million copies.
That's what I thought.
Like,
yeah, 5 million
I-
maybe. You know.
It's a well-known franchise, so I'm pretty sure it's sold. But damn, this is just threw me off. I'm like, damn, this is like Elden Ring numbers.
It is. Wow. Well, I think the answer may be in what you said earlier, Carlos. This is the game you buy to complement your other games. So I guess that's how it got big. It's like, okay, I'll buy. Why, sure, why not?
Yeah.
You know?
And
I mean,
Adam brought a great point because this is an online co-op game, so you can play the whole campaign with your buddies. And I did that with a friend on Borderlands 2. So
Yeah.
it does make sense that it sells pretty well if it's because then
And
the
progression
storyline is
carries
also
over, and you could jump in and out, and they have two different tiers of how you want to play it. You can either play it where you're leveling up together and enemies, or you can jump in other games that are higher level. It'll be harder for you, but it'll a way to boost you up if you want to do that. I mean, it's very flexible. And as we know, it's one of the best looter shooters because there's a ton of guns, and that was the downfall of the movie. The movie had no guns. It missed the key element that made the IP popular.
That was a selling point. Well,
movie.
million guns, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, no, they didn't even bring that up in the movie.
Wow. So here's some sales. This from VG Charts, but VG Charts does get shit right for past stuff, you know? Borderlands 1 sold 6 million. Borderlands 2, 30 million. Borderlands 3, 22 million. So I guess we'll see what Borderlands 4. But, wow. Okay, this segment did not go the way I thought, people. Very interesting. All right. Anyway, let's move on. So about $80 games. Shuhei Yoshida, he was on somewhere. This guy's doing interviews, podcasts all the time now.
oh yeah.
He says
That's a new job.
that is his new job, you know? What's Shu saying this week? Yeah, we actually have two segments with Shuhei Yoshida. It's crazy. So he thinks $80 games are a steal, that they're actually a good value compared to other forms of entertainment. Okay, let me see if I can read his thing here. But while I look for the quote, what do you guys think about that comment?
It depends. Like anything else, it really depends. Like, I mean, if you tell me, hey, like if you tell me, hey, you wanna play GTA 5 when it comes out, like in 2013, it's like it's gonna be $100 and you're gonna play it for like 500 hours. I'm like, and you're gonna love it. I'm like, okay, that seems like a fair transaction. You know, 500 hours of my time for $100 worth. It seems like a good selling point. But there's obviously other games that don't live up to that price tag. So it's much harder to sell those for higher prices. So it really depends, man. It really depends on the type of game, and you don't even know sometimes when you're going into it if it's going to be worth $80. So you have to take a leap of faith. But I would say for most of the games that I play, and I don't play that many games, but I usually, if I play a game, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it. Most of those are worth $80 to me. Like I played Expedition
Monster Hunter,
30. Monster Hunter, exactly. Monster Hunter. That's well worth $80 for me.
Yeah.
So was Expedition 33. So yeah, it really depends. But if you're playing like I don't know, like I would say a decent game that's not worth $80, I would say is like something like Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga,
Which is
like
coming to PS5, people.
Yep, it's coming to PS5, and that's a game that's worth playing, but it's not worth $80 to me. And also, suggestion, Shuhei, if you're listening to this podcast, first of all, what's up? Second of all, start a podcast and call it If the Shoe Fits.
Yeah.
It's right there for the taking, man. Come on.
There you go. And obviously, that headline pretty catchy. He says these games are a steal. But if you read his comments, he actually elaborated on that. He says some games are worth $80, some are not. And he should, which makes sense. And then he says, he just tells people just be, unlike Randy Pitchford, he's saying just be more discerning of what if these games are too expensive, just be more discerning of what you want to buy. So I think that's good advice. Do your research. He goes,
Get Game Pass.
Yeah, get Game Pass. He goes, as long as people choose carefully how they spend their money, I don't think they should be complaining. All right, so but there obviously will be games that are $80 that are not worth $80. Just like there are $70 games that shouldn't be worth $70. Again, I still don't think we should have standard pricing for games. I think it should be different.
Yeah, it should be like just going into a bookstore. I mean, if anyone does that anymore, but back when you did and went to Barnes and Nobles, it wasn't like one price for everything. Take it or get the hell out. No, it's like there was different prices. There's a bargain bin.
Yeah,
and it doesn't just because something's lesser in price doesn't mean it's lesser in quality.
Yeah, and that's the problem, Adam. A lot of gamers think, oh, $50, this is whack. That's why I blame the publishers and the gamers for this shit. Because they're like, oh, $50. I was talking to a friend. I think it was Expedition 33 because the game's $50, right? They were like, yo, this game looks dope. And my first thought was $50. This game's got to be bad. And they recognized that. They were like, oh, shit, because we all have that thought, like lower price means bad. So I said this on a previous show. I urge people, get yourself out of that mindset. Get yourself out of that mindset because you could be missing out on some dope-ass games. And you're also sending a message to the industry, right? Hey, we will buy these cheaper games, We're not just going to think they're cheap, but, this has been a problem for a long time. It's like, oh, you're paying $40 for a game? What are you, poor? It's like, what the fuck, bro?
We've seen this back in the day when we were in school with clothes.
Yeah.
Remember, it was like, oh, you gotta have the big name brands. Why? I don't like the way it looks. What then? You must be poor. No, I can't just like or not like Gucci. Do I have to like that? Like what? Guess? No, I don't give a shit about that. A little triangle on my crotch. I don't care.
I love my Jenko jeans.
Right? Well, Jenko was right, but Jenkos weren't expensive. That was the thing. Jenko, UFO. Remember UFO parachute pants? Fubu, that was pricey. Fubu was pricey. Carl Kanai, that was pricey.
My man said Carl Kanai, cross colors. Yo, yeah, Jeffrey, you hearing this, man? I know you remember that shit, cross colors.
I just used to rock that shit. Manny still has a Carl Kanai jacket that I used to wear. I don't know why he still has it. The dude's a hoarder of all kinds of things. But
he's got everything,
He's like, I still got that Carl Kanai. See? I'm like, damn, that was like from 11th grade or something like that. But
it still fits.
Oh yeah, here's a throwback. Here's a Queens one. Here's the Queens brand. Everybody knows. Damage.
I remember Damage.
The clothes had like wrist, but it had a patch that said Damage inside. And everybody loved it.
I remember Damage.
Yeah,
shit is crazy, man. Going back to a conversation we had off air, but this is still kind of related and shit. So you were asking me how do I save so much on groceries. It just turns out that the cheap brand is also my favorite. I like Urban Meadow shit. I genuinely like their bread. I like their cheese. I like their cold cuts. I'm like, I just like it. Oh, it just happens to be the cheapest one. But that's my point. It's like it doesn't have to be like expensive to be good.
Nope.
So
yep.
8-ball jacket, you already know, son.
Oh, the 8-ball, those are pricey. One time, me and my brother got jumped because some guys thought he had an 8-ball on it, and they ran after us. It was at night underneath the F train line in Brooklyn.
Shit!
It felt like a scene from The Warriors.
I was about to say,
yeah, this is an Adam. So here we go.
Get together, let's go.
We were leaving my aunt's house, right? So we were leaving my aunt's house, and this was what part of Brooklyn? I'm trying to remember, but it was under the F line. Anyway, we were leaving this part and it was getting late. We went to the train station. It was ready. We had just missed the train. So he was like, well, we could just walk, let's not. And at the time we lived closer toward Coney Island. So we weren't that far. I'm trying to remember where she lived. But anyway, we're walking underneath the train line and it's dark and it's just the lights. So we're walking and then I don't know what happened, but he was like, pick up the pace. I was like, what? He's like, just keep looking forward and pick up the pace. I'm like, all right. So we're talking this and that. And then I hear like patting. And he was like, all right, start running. I was like, what? And he just starts running. So I'm running with him. I still don't know what's going on. So there is a park. There's some houses on one side and there's a park on the left side. Right underneath the train station. So apparently there was a bunch of guys that were there sitting on a bench or whatever, and they saw us walking and then they started coming out and then we heard them running. Then they were running. So we started running and then the guy started screaming something. I think it was like, yo, why are you running? So he's like, all right, let's just stop. He's like, take your belt off. So I took my belt off. I wrapped it around my hand. He took his belt. I was like, I don't believe this. What? So they were like, what are you doing around here? right? And at the time, I must have been around 14 or something like that. But he was older than me. He's 2 years older, so he's like 16, 17, 15. We were in that, but he's definitely 2 years older. And he just did all the talking. And he was like, "Oh, we live up in Bay Ridge, right? We just walking home. We just missed the train." And he says, "Oh, so you're not bombing, right?" Because we had our book bags and stuff. He's like, "No, we're not bombing." Because he's like, "We got some people that coming over here and they're tagging in our area." And I was like, "Well, we're not doing any of that." And this is what comes up with the 8-ball jacket. He didn't have an 8-ball jacket, but he did have a leather jacket and had like some Chinese symbols on the back.
Yeah.
And he was like, one of the guys there, it was like, I think 3 or 4 of them that were there. I was like, "Yo, is that an 8-ball?" And he's like, "No, it's not an 8-ball." I said, "What is it?" He's like, "I don't know. It's like something my dad bought me, but it's not an 8-ball." And he said, "Can I see it?" He's like, "No."
Oh, fuck.
And then it was just quiet, right? And we just standing there. And I was like, "Oh, shit, is this going to happen?" And he said, "Where you live?" And then he was like, "We live up Bay Ridge." And that time my brother, he did go to Utrecht High School. And I was going to Lincoln. I was further toward Coney Island, 2 different high schools. And he's like, "Well, we got to go." And he's like, "All right." And the guy just kept staring. And then we just started walking back. And then we turned and we just kept walking. And they didn't chase after us. But I guess they were waiting to see if he was going to give up his jacket or something like that. But yeah, it was
Man, that sounds crazy, bro.
That was my story. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a real New York story right there, man. You only get this kind of stuff on Throwdown, people.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff, for bringing that up in the chat. That's the homie right there. As a matter of fact, Adam, I don't know, because this is too new. Last week I was in Brooklyn for Jeffrey's birthday at Industry City. I don't know if they had. I don't think they had that in your time. It's new. It's new, but it's also not new. Basically, it's like 3 blocks. It's on 3rd Avenue between 35th Street and 33rd Street. It's all warehouses that pretty much got converted to like a cultural center. It got like shops and shit. It's fucking dope. We saw sumo wrestling, bro.
Where's this at?
It's on 3rd Avenue and like 33rd Street, 35th Street. It's and like you see like the highway passes right by it.
It's by the cemetery.
No.
Yeah, I think there's a cemetery. But if you know that area and it's near the waterfront, you know, you can see boats and shit.
East New York area then.
The N train stops like on 36th Street.
It's right next to the what's it called, the Bay.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, it's dope. Yo, Carlos, next time you come to the city, we got to go there, man. You'll love it. There's a lot of Japanese stuff there. I don't. Have you been there before when you were here?
3rd Avenue.
Yeah, I went there because I was in Prospect. I was in Prospect Park, and I just walked down there.
Nice. Okay, so you've been to Industry City. Then there you go.
All right, so that's a little further because I'm thinking like the beginning part. You got Atlantic Avenue where BAM and everything is, and you go keep going straight. Then you hit the Brooklyn Bridge, but then Prospect Park.
You got to go further down. Yeah.
I used to sleep in that park. I dated a girl that lived over there, and her roommate. Yeah, sometimes she let me stay over, and other times she was like, "No, he can't stay here." And I didn't want to commute all the way to Staten Island. This is when I lived there, so I said, "Fuck this shit." It was the summertime, so I would just go to a park bench and just sleep in the fucking park.
There you go. Adam stories tonight, boy.
Yeah, there you go.
Ironically, Jeffrey comes from Staten Island. He gets there quicker than I can because the bridge is right there. You just take an Uber and shit, you know.
He takes an Uber. Oh my god, how much does that cost?
He says it's like a 20-minute ride or something. It's like
no. The ride is not the problem. It's the price.
Oh, I don't know.
They're paying the toll. The Uber has to be paying the toll.
Yeah, he's at Sunset Park. Yeah, that's where it is at in Sunset Park. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, what I did was to save money, even though I still took an Uber too. I took an Uber to the Barclays Center.
Park,
I took it to Barclays Center, then I took the and home. Anyway, let's keep moving on here.
Latin Kings were over there.
Latin Kings, remember those motherfuckers?
Sunset Park, man.
See them niggas in yellow, son. Like,
the yellow and black beads.
That's
I would see those shits all the time, and they're like, "Yo," and they would look at me, looking to see if I had anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Why?" Oh, because we're all in the same age. It was that thing. It was like you in our age, and you certain neighborhoods, you were rolling with some crew.
Yeah,
that's the way this stuff.
All right. Anyway, speaking about things falling apart, we got to talk about Bungie. They have not had a good week, bro. Not a good week at all. So obviously, you know, last week we talked about the whole art theft thing. Manny had a very impassioned rant about that. And ever since that whole thing happened, Adam, I'm assuming you know about this. The whole
Let's
Bungie,
see.
you find out
I
that the art style of Marathon was ripped off an artist. And shit.
yeah. I saw some of that. They ripped something
Okay.
they didn't know about it or whatever.
Yeah. So ever since that happened, the floodgates open. Now a bunch of former employees are talking about how. Okay, actually, let me bring it back because we got to give ourselves credit, specifically me and Chris, because we were like, "Yo, how the fuck does this type of shit happen?" And me and Chris said, "This is a cultural thing within the company. All that kind of corruption and shit, it comes from the company itself." Right? Because some people are like, no. Actually, Manny was a little apologetic, like, no, maybe it's not the company. Turns out maybe it is. A bunch of former employees have come out talking about how like toxic the culture is there, how like even HR did, like nobody would tell them shit, or HR would like just brush off any concerns people had, and that the company, surprise, surprise, was all about just making money, didn't really give a fuck about the employees, just pushing people and stuff, and like, yeah, man, it's crazy. This is how bad it is. One employee said they hope that Sony absorbs them so they have better management. Yo, that's like if you live in living in the fucking Middle Ages and shit. Actually, no, excuse me, I'll take it back. Living in ancient times, right? Living in fucking Egypt and shit. You got these horrible conquerors. Like, I hope the Romans come, please, please save us. So. Damn, man, this shit is fucked up, What are your thoughts, Carlos? I know you've been keeping up on this one, too.
Yeah, it's crazy just how many people have come out for this, like,
Crazy.
the Bungie stuff, because it's all former employees, too. Like, remember when Sony acquired them, we were like, damn, now Sony's got, something in their chamber. Like, it was like, this is a developer that's, has got a lot of ammo to give to Sony. And man, it hasn't been good. Yeah, not surprised by all this stuff. The whole thing with the culture being the way it is. Not surprised. Man, all they need to do is, Marathon. I guess they have to release it because they probably have something there. But like, if I'm Sony, I'm like, all right, let's just get into Destiny 3 and wipe all this crud away that's going on right now, because this is not building good rapport with gamers and stuff. This is just not good.
Yeah. So what are you trying to find?
Because remember, they're not the only ones to do this. A few years back, when Call of Duty World War II came out, and the cover art was a soldier with the helmet and the hands in front, like, just thinking. And I'm looking for it. I think it was Company of Heroes. They were like, they sent the message. They tweeted at it and were like, oh, nice cover art. And they showed their game, which had the same cover. They're like, yo, you just straight up ripped us off.
Yeah, no, but this problem is like, but this what we're talking about now, it's like basically the art theft was just the tip of the iceberg. There's like way worse here, man. So I'm going to read this. This is from Insider Gaming. Turns out Richard's boy Destin Ligari, however you pronounce his fucking name, said this. I legit don't know how to pronounce it. I don't watch this guy's fucking content.
Is Ligari or something?
Ligari? Yeah, is it Ligari? Ligari? I fucking know. Probably Ligari. You're probably right. Ligari? I don't know. New information from content creator and reporter. Notice how they said content creator first. Destin Ligari of Save State Plus. I don't know what isn't he from IGN? Yo, this shows you how much I know about these fucking content creators, bro. Anyway, new information from Destin, who says he spoke directly with multiple former Bungie employees, paints an even bleaker picture. According to the report, former Bungie staff described a work environment where leadership seemed less interested in creativity and more focused on profits and control. One ex-employee bluntly stated, everything happening to Bungie is because of greed. I hope they get consolidated into Sony. That's the path forward. Damn!
Well, we knew that with the whole Microsoft thing. It's like they wanted money. Remember, they're like, oh, no, we want to be independent. No. And then what happened? Then they did the whole EA thing, and then they went and they got in bed with Sony. So cut the bullshit about, we just want our independence. It's all about the money. Whoever throws the biggest check at them is who they partner with.
Yo, this is more stuff. The internal culture, according to these sources, was defined by fear and favoritism. Ligari called it a cool kids club, where you either agreed with leadership or were put on a list, berated publicly, and told your ideas didn't matter. One ex-employee said, if they didn't think of it, it wasn't worth doing. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, this is where all this AI stuff comes from. It's like, fuck it, who cares? Make us money, you know?
That's the way it is in most companies.
Yeah, but it's like you got to cover your ass. But now, again, that thing was just the tip of the iceberg. Now the floodgates are open, man. I still say I made a bold prediction, and I'm sticking to it. Carlos, I know you said you think the game's going to come out. I'm making a bold prediction that it's not going to come out.
Uh-oh.
I could be wrong.
That is definitely controversial.
Yeah, we may have to hit up the accountability room for this one. But I really think with all this shit going on, Sony's gonna probably first delay the game again, right? Actually, has it been delayed at all?
I don't recall.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
It sounds like something that I've heard, but
Every game gets delayed now. Yeah, fucking. It had movies too. Doomsday. Hope you guys weren't waiting to see that fucking movie. But yeah. So I predict bold predictions right now. The game will be delayed, maybe a couple times before being canceled. I don't think there's a path forward for this fucking game. No, think about it. Not only is all this stuff really bad, but there's no excitement for it. Who do you know is hyped for this fucking game? Even our boy Dio, hardcore Destiny player, he still plays Destiny till this day. He's like, fuck this shit. That's not a good sign, man.
Have you talked to your boy Paris about this? Because I know he's a big Destiny fan.
I could ask him, I could ask him his thoughts,
Because I don't know anybody else that's a Destiny fan anymore. It's been a long time.
Yeah, even that fanboy Paul Tassi from Forbes, he's even like, yo, this shit is cooked. And he's a hardcore Destiny guy, Yeah. So we'll see, man, but it's not looking good.
They're gonna need the power of the pony to carry this. Because I don't know how else it'll survive.
This might be an Activision situation where Sony's like, we don't want this bad press, man. We're absorbing you,
Well, they're technically owned by Sony, right? Like
they are,
the majority of it. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's a decision that gets made by the board, and Sony owns most of the shares, so they can do that.
Yeah, crazy.
Do we know if Marathon is stated to come out on Xbox or not?
That's a good question. I have no
I
idea.
don't remember.
It's one of those things where the games as a service is going to be multiplayer, so it's definitely going to be on PC. Yeah, Xbox, who knows?
Okay. Yeah, so it's listed on Steam. We know that. Yeah, Brian, I honestly don't know. It's a good question.
No, I was just trying to think about what you said about it being delayed and then cancelled. And the funny thing is, I'm finding it hard to disagree with that as an idea. I don't see why it wouldn't happen that way. Like, at best, I can see it being like Concord, where it comes out, then 3 months later, shut down.
Yeah.
Brian, I am seeing Xbox on the platforms list here. So this is Wikipedia, mind you. Let me see the source.
Hold on, didn't we say that last week too? Where I was like, I think I was the one that said that. It's like, this is going to top Concord. Concord was canceled after 2 weeks of being released. This is going to top it by not releasing at all. So that's going to be but that's still, Carlos, that's still going to look bad for Sony's efforts in this shit,
Yeah, because it's another game that they acquired a studio when it's like right after they acquired the studio, they released this thing that's pretty much DOA. Yeah, I mean there is a pathway for this game to not crumble. I mean, if it's good, I'm pretty sure it'll have some sort of fan base. But yeah, the stink that it's got on it, it's ridiculous. I mean, everything that is we've heard from the ex-employees to the whole plagiarism stuff. It's ridiculous.
Not looking good. All right, so let's move on here. Let's talk about Nintendo real quick. So one thing that's interesting is this whole kind of technical stuff with Samsung. I don't want to get into that too much, but basically Nintendo expects to ship between, or roughly 20 million or more switches by March of 2026. Bro.
Damn.
So, but the interesting thing is like a potential bottleneck may be because Samsung may be the bottleneck because I believe they're supplying the display and the chip for it, which is interesting. So
Really?
yeah, you know what? I'll read this. Fuck it. This is from Engadget, but the referencing Bloomberg. Nintendo hired Samsung to build the main chips for the Switch 2, including an 8-nanometer processor custom designed by NVIDIA, according to Bloomberg. That would mark a move by Nintendo away from TSM. Why the fuck? Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing.
TSMC.
Yeah. How come I can pronounce the whole thing, not the fucking acronym? Hilarious. TSMC, which manufactured a chipset for the original 2017 Switch. Nintendo had no comment, saying it doesn't disclose its suppliers. Samsung and NVIDIA also declined to discuss the matter. So right now, this is a rumor. Just keep that in mind. Samsung had previously supplied Nintendo with flash memory and displays, but building the Switch 2's processor would be a rare win for the company's contract chip division. Samsung can reportedly build enough chips to allow Nintendo to ship 20 million or more Switches by 2026. NVIDIA's new chipset was reportedly optimized for Samsung's rather than TSMC's manufacturing process. Using Samsung also means that Nintendo won't be competing with Apple and others for TSMC's resources. Companies had a lot of problems with that, During Nintendo's latest earnings call, President Shuntaro Furukawa said the company didn't expect any component shortages with this new console, an issue that plagued the original Switch. And lastly, Nintendo said in the same earnings call that it was caught by surprise with 2.2 million applications for Switch 2 pre-orders in Japan alone. Despite that, the company crazy. Despite that, the company projected sales of 15 million Switch 2 units in its first year on sale to March 2026, fewer than analysts' predictions of 16.8 million, likely due to the impact of the tariffs. So yeah, Carlos, what are your thoughts on all this?
Yo, man, I'm like 2.2 million already. Like just
Crazy.
from the pre-orders, it's probably all the Japanese folks and also the gaijin that are buying it buying for the lower prices.
Yeah, that's just in Japan alone, bro. Japan.
Japan. It's crazy. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not too familiar with. Obviously, we know TSMC and what they do.
Yeah.
But we know that Samsung also, manufactures chips as well. They're not. They're not nowhere near the same level as TSMC. But if it relieves the bottleneck from the TSMC because everyone else uses TSMC, maybe that's helpful. Who knows? 20 million by 2026, the end of the fiscal year. Yeah, damn, that's crazy. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it though. It seems like after all the stuff that went on with the pricing issue with the video games, it's kind of died down, and it's like the calm before the storm right now because the console releases in like 2 weeks.
Yep.
So, I'm pretty sure a lot of folks are excited. I'm gonna be getting my Switch, and you'll hear my thoughts on the show when I get it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the shortage. If there's potential shortages with that it'll affect it. Like with everything, man. Nintendo, they might do the artificial scarcity thing that they always do. So you might hear that bullshit, or maybe that's like a predecessor to what'll happen when Nintendo will be like, oh, it's in high demand, and there's a shortage and there's a bottleneck somewhere, and they're just really doing it artificially, so there can be like more hype and demand on the systems.
Yeah. Here's the thing I'll say about the Switch sales. Before that, yes, Carlos is going to be buying a Switch. I think you pre-ordered it already, right?
Yes.
You got it secure. But that is not to say that he will be the only one to play it and give us a report. Just keep in mind what I do for a living. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Shout out to myself. But yeah, here's the thing. this console is going to ride the goodwill of the previous console, which we know counts for a lot. That helped the PS5 a lot, bro. So that's possible. People aren't complaining as much about the console price. The main sticking point is going to be the game prices, right? But so far, the only game that's been confirmed, and correct me if I'm wrong, for that to be $80 is Mario Kart, and we know that fucking thing's going to sell, right? I think if they could keep most game prices around 70, it should do pretty good. I think it'll do very good, especially if they also make sure, because I know they're going to do artificial scarcity. This is Nintendo, but if they could keep hype up, they could reach this number. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, I'm not one to say how much Nintendo consoles are going to sell. That bit me in the ass before, but I'll say it's possible. I won't disbelieve it. So we'll see.
You won't bet against it.
I'm not going to bet against it. Maybe 2017 Tony would, not 2025 Tony. This motherfucker knows better.
Yeah.
Adam, what are your thoughts, bro?
About the
Can I
Switch
ask
thing?
you
Yeah,
a
Switch
question?
2, yeah. Because I haven't really heard your thoughts too much on this.
I got no thoughts on it. I don't want this shit.
Damn.
It's like there's no need for it. There's no need. I like my Steam Deck. It plays everything from all the platforms except Nintendo officially, and I'm okay with that. Mario Kart, Zelda, Mario Kart's a fun game to play, but I don't put the value, because we could argue all we want about the prices of games and this and that, but it all comes down to the player. If you're willing to pay whatever because you like the game, then it doesn't matter, right? Because that wallet's open because you like that IP, so it doesn't even matter. But for me, there's not enough on there. I'm not big into Zelda. The Mario games, Odyssey, stuff like that, put a few minutes or whatever, and then I walked away. My kids, same thing. They already moved on to other things. They're not into that anymore. So I don't see the incentive for me to pick it up. There's nothing there. So I'm passing on it. Maybe later down the road something will catch my attention, or the price will go down or something like that, which I doubt. But yeah, like you said, it's not so much the console, it's just the games. And I just can't see myself spending, especially when a lot of the games that they're advertising, like Cyberpunk, those are old ports.
Yeah.
That are already on other platforms that you can get cheaper on other platforms that'll look and run a lot better. We've already seen that with the Steam Deck when people were comparing with the specs and stuff. It's like, it's not even going to pull the performance that you can get on a current Steam Deck, which is cheaper. So if you're looking for it to just say, oh, I just want a good handheld that I can take on the go, and you go get with a Steam Deck, and if you're like, but I don't have the Nintendo, well, that's fine, but get ready for that Nintendo tax, and you're gonna have to eat that tax every time you go to buy some. So really think, is it worth it? That's what sucks, is that you'll see a certain game come out like, oh wow, $50, and then your buddy on another platform will be like, oh, it's $20 here. Why are you paying so much? Because I want it on this Switch. Yeah, we see it all the time. The Switch one was known for that. And now more of that's going to happen, and the prices are higher already. So add I'm sure the tax on top of that's just going to go. And watch, I bet there are parties that will say, oh, well, we don't want to match up that price of $80, but we're going to do 75, 70. Why are you doing it? We got that Nintendo tax. They're charging us, so we want to get that money back. So remember Rockstar did that with LA Noire. That was a big deal because it was cheap on all the other platforms, and it was like a $10 difference on the Switch. I'm like, why? And then one of the reps had tweeted out, I was like, Nintendo tax. It's like we got to charge with a $10 fee just to put it on it. So just to cover that, so we can make a profit. Who pays for that? The consumer does.
It's crazy.
So
thanks. Shout out to Richard Bailey Jr., man. I heard a report, Rich, that you thought Summer Game Fest was happening tomorrow, so you started getting ready. Then you realized you were too early. So, it's okay. It happens to the best of us.
I'm not sure who delivered that report, but that story is very far-fetched. I do apologize for the delay. I decided to accept the mission that was way too long. And that's why I got I didn't think it was gonna be that damn long. That's why I got in a little bit late. But
was it good though?
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it good though?
I think it was okay. I don't think it was amazing. Yeah, I think it was just all right.
And it's the last one, right? This is it. Like Tom Cruise is not doing another one. Okay.
It is the last one, and it should be the last one. That's what I will say. Is that we don't need to see no more of this. Let them do something else.
There you go. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the movie, man. Listen, you're not the first guy who showed up to Throwdown late because the movie ran too long. It's all good.
Yeah.
All good. But don't worry, Rich. We still got a lot of stories, bro. So you kind of made it here at the halfway point. We still got a lot of shit to cover. This is a very busy week. But yeah, Brian, what are your thoughts about Nintendo selling 20 million by March next year?
It's a nice goal to have. I don't blame them for having a very high goal. Let's see if they achieve it. Again, 20 million. It's difficult to say because on the one hand, there's the fact that the Switch 2 has lots of negative press around it, but then at the same time, it's the sequel to the Switch, which sold like hotcakes. So I honestly don't know which way this will go, but I guess we'll see come next year. Good luck to them.
Yeah, for sure. And then another thing related to Nintendo, they actually will be at Gamescom this year. Remember, they skipped out last year, and we all said because there's nothing to show. They got something to show this year, don't they? So that's going to be good. So anyone is out there in Germany could check that out. And obviously, we'll be reporting on it. Gamescom runs from August 21st, August 24th. So, hopefully they'll show something for the fall because that's kind of the lingering question. My prediction is that, I'm never mind. I was about to make a very bad prediction because I just proved myself wrong. Donkey Kong comes out like 3 weeks or so after launch. So what the fuck are they going to have for the fall? So maybe we'll get that answer.
Metroid?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Metroid's going to come out this fall. Yeah, because they need Adam, say it.
Gotta have something.
So that's
gotta have something.
That's gonna be it. Maybe they're gonna have Pokemon, but nothing's been announced, so who knows? But we'll see what happens. And we'll see what happens with Gamescom. I also predict, just like at Summer Game Fest, we're gonna get a lot of. I'm telling you right now, there's not some insider shit. This is what I predict. I think at Summer Game Fest, we're gonna get a lot of hey, we're launching in November of this year. Because now everybody, Adam, you know this, right? If you looked at the calendar, even right now, there are no game releases in November. You know why, right? Because everybody thought GTA was dropping. So now you're probably going to get a lot of companies going, hey, we're coming out on November. So.
Oh, we were able to clear up some bugs and we can bump this up a little sooner for you gamers out there. Pre-order now.
Exactly. So that's going to happen. I think we're going to get more of that at Gamescom, but we'll see. All right, we got to talk about this story because this is some bullshit, and I want this to serve as a point, right? I'm not gonna name any names, but a couple weeks ago, actually probably a month ago, whenever Assassin's Creed dropped, right? Assassin's Creed Shadows, game dropped, 3 million players, right? And I was talking to somebody, and they were like, "Oh, Tony, you thought this game was in a bomb." But it has 3 million players. I'm like, that's not a good sign. That's bullshit. And they're like, yeah, but you can't dismiss 3 million players. I guess I can, because that's not fucking sales. Like, oh, you're only dismissing it because you want this game to fail. I'm like, I do want the game to fail, but I'm calling this bullshit, right? Just to prove a point that I'm fucking consistent. Doom the Dark Ages, easily in my top 3 for Game of the Year right now, right? Phenomenal game. I love it to death, right? Bethesda came out to say 3 million players. And you know what? I'm calling bullshit on that too. If you say 3 million, if you give me anything but units sold, that instantly lets me know your game is not doing well. If you have to go out there and say you have X million players, that lets me know instantly your game is not doing well, and you need to make the fucking stockholders happy with some bullshit fucking numbers. 3 million fucking players. Get out of here. So just like I called out Assassin's Creed with this nonsense, I'm calling out Doom Eternal, which is funny. But here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. We're gonna get to possible reasons. But I'm gonna get into this too. I just want to put a pin in it before we go into Doom. I find it very interesting that when Assassin's Creed, when they came out and they said, when Ubisoft said 3 million players, every fucking gaming website on earth. Oh my God, this is an amazing accomplishment. 3 million players, this is great. Oh, you go, Ubisoft. They're reporting Doom, right? 3 million players. You know what they're saying now? Oh, that's good, but what are the sales numbers? Why didn't you ask that question about Assassin's Creed? There is an answer for that, which I'm going to get to, but very interesting. But yeah, Doom and Dark Ages, obviously, this is not a good sign. 3 million players. The game is not doing well. And I've been trying to find out why.
Wait, it's not doing well, really?
Not at all. Adam, if you have to come out to say 3 million players, you know shit.
No, but still, I mean, they're just trying to throw something out. Maybe they don't have the numbers from the other platforms. You would think on PlayStation or even PC. Usually the other ones did pretty well on PC, but
no. And the only numbers that we have that are independent numbers are Steam. 30,000 players peak. That's not good.
Wow.
Then those are go ahead, Brian.
And then Doom Eternal was like 100 or something thousand.
Yeah,
see, that's what I'm saying. Like I would have never guessed it. And I put this as one of my top game of the year. They threw it up on their splash screen. You know, the Coalition 5 out of 5, but a game. I was like, shit. And really, nobody likes. What about people that listen to the show, fans, whatever? You guys like this game? Did you pick it up?
No one. We're the only ones that played it. No one in the comment in the Discord. Correct me if I'm wrong. No one's ever talked about this game. I don't think anybody's bought it. You know,
are we in the Twilight Zone? What's going on?
So this is bullshit. Very controversial.
Yeah. So, Rich, what are your thoughts on this? Like, what do you think it is that is turning people off from this game?
Well, I do want to make one comment. This is going to be considered controversial. I would be willing to bet that more than half of the total players are coming from Game Pass.
Oh, shit.
Because I do believe it is doing well on Game Pass, but then again, Microsoft never tells us any information about sales. So metrics, maybe it has the best metrics of every game on the platform, I guess. But yeah, we will never know. But
yeah, but that doesn't even make sense still, though, for the other platform. Look at Indiana Jones. When that came out, that did very well on PS5, right? That's still so. You would think Doom and all, like you said before, we just said with the player base, at least on Steam, the 100,000 for the old Eternal. This is better than Eternal. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that it.
Well,
sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, because I was going to mention Carlos. There is another theory you can also say is there are a lot of games that came out. One of them, Carlos has been playing this little game called Expedition 33. So maybe, hey,
it's a different genre though. This is a boomer shooter. There's really no other king when it comes to these. It is Doom. So you tell me if this doesn't do well, then the whole genre is gone to shit. Then because it's like this is as good as it gets, people.
There are no king. There are no other kings in this rap thing. They siblings.
No. That's it. On top of the throne. On top of the throne, LP for life. That's right. Run the jewels. Keep it. I said it.
I mean, I think there is some good points that Richard brings up because it is getting dominated by Clair Obscur, which is ironically another Game Pass game. Also,
but that's sold. That's sold units, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but it is taking a lot of how do you say it? A lot of wind from the sales of the video game industry. Like there's a lot of people talking about it online and still talking about Expedition 33 right now. So, you know, there is some stuff with momentum with that game that it's not getting propped up by, you know, people talking, in streamers or whatever that are right now talking about Clair Obscur. So I think that's part of it. Also, there's the Manny effect.
The Manny effect.
Yo, you blaming Manny for this shit?
Yeah,
too?
Manny don't even play this motherfucker.
Right? That's why
he got Indiana Jones and it sold well. He didn't get Doom, the Dark Ages, and it's not looking good. Coincidence? I think not.
By the way, Kuel brings up an interesting point, and I've seen people complain about this too. That some people can't play it because ray tracing is required. Like you kind of need not an ultra beefy like PC, but you need that ray tracing. So that may be an issue, but that's not stopping the console guys. Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys are onto something when it comes to people's attention is diverted. I mean, Adam, you were asking about if the fans are playing in the Discord. You know what they're playing in the Discord? They're playing fucking Oblivion.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's another one.
Yeah, so that could be it. And then, I know there's some people. I haven't heard this so much, but I know there are some people that feel this game is too much of a departure for Doom. The medieval stuff, the shield. I think that shit is phenomenal, but people were like, "Yo, can we go back to 2016? We want that." Because that game was great. But, no one's taking. I still like that game better than this one, the 2016 Doom. And I also think, even though it did well, I think, for the lack of a better term, the stink of Eternal is on this game. People did not like it in the end. Too much platforming, they felt. I loved Eternal, but a lot of people didn't like it. By the way, here's some numbers, some crazy shit. So, Doom the Dark Ages had a peak concurrent player count of 31,470 on Steam, right? Doom Eternal had 104,891 players, and the original 2016 Doom 9 years ago, 44,000. So even that had more than the new game. It's very upsetting because, again, this is a genuinely great game. There's no bullshit. It's just fucking awesome, But again, when I saw they posted, 3 million players, I'm like, oh fuck, that's not good.
Not a good sign, yeah.
Not a good sign, bro. Expedition didn't pull that. Expedition didn't pull that shit, Carlos. Motherfucker said we sold 1 million copies, bruh. I think it's more now. Now it's like 2.
Yeah.
I heard 3 last time I checked.
Damn. So
yeah.
Wait, Brian, 3 million copies versus 3 million players. Uh-oh.
I know. It's fascinating. I do think that there's one place where amount of players does make sense, and the cool thing is that Tony is going to agree with me on this one because he can't disagree with me, which is brilliant.
Got me trapped
to play games.
Free to play games. What do you mean?
That's probably the only type of games where player count or how many players are playing it can actually be assessed because you can't technically do units sold. Yeah, no,
Brian, I don't want to agree, but it's true. Because again, if you can't buy it, the only way you can assess how it's doing is player count. So if Doom was free to play, 3 million players would be like, oh shit, that's pretty good, But unfortunately, that's not the case. I don't know. It's very upsetting because it's a genuinely good game. And the way they set the fucking story up, you were going to get another game set in the Dark Ages. I was down for it. Like, let's fucking go.
Well, the way they described it in the press when they sent out all the info, they plan on doing this as like a spin-off. Like, this would be its own Dark Ages series of games.
I would be down with it, but I don't think that's going to happen now. They're going to be like, fuck it, go back to formula, which I also kind of wouldn't mind either. Because, again, 2016 Doom is still so fucking good.
Man, we got mechs, we got dragons. Like, what?
So you like this one more than those, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, I like this more, both of them, the 2016 and this one more than Eternal. I hated just parkouring, just jumping everywhere, and then those big gobbler ones trying to eat you, and you had to keep jumping and throw in a grenade in their mouth and stuff. I'm like, this is annoying.
Yeah.
I hated those fucking things, and it was too focused on it. Even the other one with the little antenna on the head, and you had to time it right.
Yeah.
Come on. I was like, I just want to shoot shit in the face, and I don't want to have to be jumping and hopping everywhere. Like, you have to keep moving in Eternal. And this was cool. This was a different take. You got the shield, it's got the blade on it, the chain, you got, like I mentioned before, the mech and the dragon and all the other cool weapons that you get in that game. It was fun. It was different. It's got the metal music playing throughout. It felt like a Doom game.
Yeah.
But I guess
great.
it's I guess people
my only complaint about the game is that the fucking one of the trophies is glitched. I can't get my platinum. I'm pissed off. I have to replay the whole game again to get the shit, and it's fucked up because they issued I saw the patch came out, and I started playing the game, bro. I was like, yo, is this shit gonna unpop? No.
Damn.
So I'm like, Adam, the trophy that I'm missing is the glitched one, man. It's fucked up. I would have got my platinum, but yeah.
Well, they know about it though, right? They know.
I have no idea if they know about it. When it comes to trophies, very rare when trophies get fixed. You
go to True Achievements. I know you don't like the whole Xbox, but they do follow-ups and they reach out if there's something's glitched, and they have a little form, like when you click on it, it'll give you a tab and it shows the discussion and what's progress. Like, all the developers are working on it. You'll know from there.
But I think it's not glitched on Xbox. This is for it might be a play. I could be wrong about. I hope I'm wrong about that, but I think it's just a PlayStation problem. All right, so very disappointing with Doom, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, 3 million players. You already know what's up, bro.
Oh man, why are you telling me this bad news?
Yeah, we report everything, man. Good, bad, and the ugly.
I heard.
Go ahead.
I heard that the game wasn't selling well because of the Coalition's review.
Oh,
they shitted on it. They shitted on it. Nah, it's not good.
They didn't praise it enough. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah.
They didn't shoot enough bitches in the face.
Right, man.
Yo, that was a great review, Adam. It read like you talked. It's just awesome.
Well, that's how you do it. I can't. It's freaking.
Yeah, yo, this game got a story, but we ain't here to talk about that. Let's talk about the shooting. It's hilarious.
Cares about the story. I was like, I'm telling you, because I was going to bring up right at the beginning. I said it reminds me of like what happens when you play in the 2016 version when he gets out and you got on a prompter. The guy's telling him everything that's going, and he just smashes his shit. I don't care what's going on. I just know I gotta kill everything that's out there.
Yeah, if it moves, it dies.
That's it. Moves, it dies.
Awesome. All right, speaking about dying, it's all about Naughty Dog. So apparently, not only are they working on the Intergalactic game, but they're also working on another game, a hidden game. They didn't say what it was, but they said they are working on another one. So my question is it going to be coming out after Intergalactic, like before? I don't know, but this is what Neil Druckmann said. There's another game that's being worked on at Naughty Dog where I am more of a producer role, and I get to mentor and watch this other team and give advice and be like the executive in the room. I enjoy all these roles, and the fact I jump between one to the next, it makes my job very exciting. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, they got another game. I guess he's not directing it, so maybe that's how they're able to, have 2 games. But IGN right here says they don't know what stage of production it's in, which I also don't know. So I don't know. It's probably not going to be The Last of Us 3 because I think he already discounted that. Maybe it would be nice if it's actually another new IP. Just because I don't think they're going to go back to Uncharted. I think that shit's done. But who knows?
Can they still make Crash Bandicoot?
Maybe. Why not? Right? Bring it back. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not The Last of Us, I don't think it's gonna be Uncharted.
No. What's up, Rich?
No, I think you guys made some great predictions, but we have to be honest, guys. It is The Last of Us Part 2 remastered deluxe premium edition director's cut. That's what they're working on.
Glossy model or something.
Ultra Championship Edition.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Director's cut.
That Last of Us Collection remastered for PS6. Oh yeah, they're gonna keep that train going, bro.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just tossing it in there, even though I kind of don't care, to be honest. All right, speaking about games that you're probably not gonna see for a while, and Manny could give us a whole dissertation on this because he's Mr. Kojima. Kojima said that his next game, it's called Fizzant, is 5 to 6 years away. My question is, why the fuck are you telling us that?
Is that the Xbox game?
It's the espionage game, but I don't think it's the Xbox game. I think that's Project OD.
OD.
That's what it's called. It's OD. You know? It's funny, man. Let me read this. This is from Game Informer, who's back, people. Game Informer is back. Hideo Kojima and PlayStation announced last year that they were teaming up to create a new action espionage game called Fizzin. This is a PlayStation game. A welcome genre return for fans of Kojima's Metal Gear Solid series. In a new interview with French magazine Le Kojima said Fizzin is 5 to 6 years away from release. This timeline isn't too surprising. Kojima's Productions' next release is Death Stranding 2 on June 26th, and the studio is already developing its next game after that, OD, for the Xbox. Assuming Kojima Productions has no other surprises, Kojima claimed last year that Fizzant's development would begin in earnest after the launch of Death Stranding 2, likely up to bat after OD. So the 5 to 6 year timeline makes sense. You know what? I'm going to agree with that. So if they basically have Death Stranding coming out now and then OD coming out within the next 5 or 6 years, yeah, that makes sense. So maybe a game every 3 or 4 years or so from this company, which is about typical game development. Okay, I guess that's not too crazy, you know. I'm pretty sure if Manny was here, he'd give us a little more of this game because he knows everything. What are you going to say, Rich?
Oh, I was going to add, I believe that somewhere, I don't know if it's in that same article or another one, says that Kojima wants to focus on making movies also. And this is why he's putting this timeline out, because I guess he's going to start dabbling in a couple other things outside of making games.
Yeah, I've heard him talk about that, especially now since, you know, he's like schmoozing it up with all these Hollywood stars and shit. So it wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, Carlos, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out that time. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Kojima is one of those that gives dates that are never realistic.
Yeah.
So 5, 6 years, let's say it's more like 7 to 9. Because it always takes a while. Death Stranding, actually, to be fair to him, Death Stranding has been some of the quickest he's done in terms of, you know, video game releases and sequels and stuff. So you never know. Might be, you know, maybe Konami was holding him back. So we'll see. But he has so many projects, man, and he's taking pictures with movie stars every day. So like, it's like, how does he get to do all this stuff? I'm surprised.
And he's like 63, bro. He has that energy.
Yeah. Really? He doesn't look that
He looks
old.
like he's 40, but yeah.
Remember, you know, Japanese, they're like Hispanics. We don't age exactly right, you know? We look very young.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Hispanics age like a lot during their teens, but like after you're like
true.
late 20s, after you're in late 20s, you pretty much stay the same for like 30 years.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. I say, yo, man, what's up with that 12-year-old looking like a 16-year-old, bro?
Why that 10-year-old got a mustache?
You know.
Yeah, that's a Hispanic thing. I mean, and Kojima, I mean, for Japanese people, they look young pretty much since they're kids. They look young till like their 40s, 50s. But I mean, they hit their plateaus eventually.
Yo, it's funny, man. Not to derail the conversation, but because I'm usually pretty good at guessing people's ages. With Asians, bro, fuck, I'm lost. I'm like, I don't know, bro. You know.
Yeah. Then I'm curious to see what he does because you know, everybody's been wanting Metal Gear. I'm pretty sure that the remakes are gonna do pretty decent numbers. But this is Kojima's entry and re-entry to espionage, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a big deal.
I'm there, bro, because Konami's not giving us that good stuff, you know. And I'll be honest, and it's funny. Actually, this is a conversation I had with Jeffrey last week. Actually, kind of a heated conversation. It was a couple of gaming guys, and basically, and I think we were all against Jeffrey on this one. We were basically like, "Yo, we don't want any more Metal Gear. Stop the franchise. We're done. We can't do it without Kojima." Jeffrey's like, "No, fuck that. Give me Metal Gear. I want my robots." You know, but I'm like, "No, I want the Kojima." Like, Jeffrey, if you're there, bro, let me sound off. But like, Kojima brings a specific flavor to his game set no one else has even replicated at all. You know, so if you have somebody else take over Metal Gear, Carlos. We got proof what happens when motherfuckers try to take over Metal Gear. We got it on stream. It's called Metal Gear Survive. Yeah. No, I'm good, bro. Give me Kojima. Even if it's not Metal Gear, you know it's going to be Metal Gear flavored. I want the flavor. I don't want the box. I want the flavor. You know?
You'll get Metal Gears, but they'll be called mechs.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be called something, you know? I mean, even Death Stranding, bro, it tastes a lot like Metal Gear. It's a little bit of a different formula, but underneath, bro, when you start shooting, like, oh, I remember this, you know?
Yeah, or the cutscenes,
or especially the cutscenes, you know?
Yeah. I wonder where Manny will fall within this game.
The Fizzant, yeah, he probably will like it. I still think he's gonna get Death Stranding. I think he's bullshitting, you know? That's what I think.
The thing with Manny is like it's funny because he says he's not interested, but he'll still watch the whole story. You're interested.
Yeah,
you just don't want to play.
That's interested to me. He's gonna watch the whole gameplay. He's gonna know all the theories. Let's just be real here, right? You know, I'm not breaking embargo by saying this. There is a very high chance Rich and I are gonna review this fucking game. Manny's gonna know more than us. This is how it is.
Well, he follows the guy, you know. He follows him. He follows all the people involved in those projects. He likes the studio. He wants to see what's going on, you know. So,
like, there are guys on here who will review this game. Manny is going to know way more than us, bro. So yeah, Carlos, to me, that's interested, but you know, Manny has his own definition of interested. To me, if I'm not interested in the game, I'm gonna watch shit about it. It's like okay. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about another Japanese man, Mr. Shuhei Yoshida. I told you we got two stories about him. What's going on? Before we move on, Jeffrey, my man's. I was saying that you don't need the OG creators to make a good game. Just need the talent and avoid the snake story. That's Kojima. Here's the thing. I agree with the assessment that you don't need the OG creators to make something good. But you need Kojima to make Metal Gear. That's my point. Kojima brings a very specific thing to Metal Gear, you know, and I didn't think anybody else could replicate it because no one has. It hasn't happened, you know. But I don't agree. I don't disagree that it's okay to bring in new people, you know, if that's good vision. But it ain't gonna be the same, bro. It's gonna be Metal Gear name only, you know. Anyway. Let's move on here. Shuhei Yoshida, he said, the headline here says that former PlayStation boss says stupid money crippled the game industry. He says Shuhei Yoshida offers his take on the recent industry implosion and ponders whether there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Because obviously, you know, we've been talking about this for a while now, a couple of years, where basically the industry is kind of, I call it a slow crash, but you could call it a recession. It's not looking good. Layoffs, fucking game sales are tanking. People are just disaffected. Shit is not looking good, you know?
It's just so funny. Like you said, you just said layoffs and the games aren't selling, but the prices are going up for them.
Isn't that something?
They justify that? How do they think? It's like, damn, how do we fix this? I get it. Let's just jack up the price.
Bro, they jacked up the price of the Xbox, a console no one's buying.
Oh, my Lord.
Like, could you imagine, Adam? Some guys like Xbox, $400. I'm not buying that shit. Wait, it's $600 now. Buying it. Let's go. No one.
Hey, you said it. You just
right.
said
It's better now, right? That's right.
Better.
Oh, it's better now. 600 is better.
It's gotta be good.
Yeah.
For that price. Oh.
So that's a whole other conversation. I mean, I kind of yelled about that. Where, you know what? I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole right now. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. I'll bring it back up, console prices, when the conversation swings up again. Because I just find it very funny that these companies are posting record profits and then they have to raise the price of consoles. Bullshit, you know? And I say this as a staunch capitalist. That is fucking bullshit, you know? Don't get me.
That's fucking bullshit.
That's right. Anyway, so here's what Shuhei said. What we've been seeing for the last 2 years is just the adjustment to the misjudged spending so many companies did during COVID. We've talked about this many times. During the Rona times, everybody was home and shit, buying games like crazy, and these companies thought, oh shit, good times are gonna last forever. Let's go nuts. Let's hire all these people. Let's spend money on all these fucking games. It's never gonna be bad. It's always gonna be good. And then look what happened. He goes, many companies and even the analysts believed the crazy growth during the pandemic would continue. Retards. So they overinvested and overhired, and they started too many projects. But after COVID, there were a lot more ways for people to entertain themselves, so the growth slowed. And obviously now we see
That was all, but that was all media outlets. Look at all the streaming services that popped up, right? Spending
a lot of
money.
them.
Paramount for Star Trek Discovery when it was like $8 million an episode. Are you kidding me? $8 million an episode. It's like they were going nuts because like, yeah, well, people stuck at home. Yeah, eventually they will go back outside.
They thought it was going to be like that forever, I guess. What the fuck?
Oh, man.
You know?
No.
So, yeah, so basically, the reason I bring this story up is because just to validate the shit we've been saying on this podcast. Basically, Shuhei's saying the same shit we've been saying on this fucking podcast for years, you know? And I'm going to say this. I want to throw a theory at you guys that I've been thinking about last couple of days. I want to get your thoughts, right? You have all these factors going on, right? Where the industry is not doing well, right? I think the final... I don't want to say death knell, but I think the straw that will break the camel's back will be AI. And I'm going to explain. Because now we're hearing about AI-generated games and shit, right? If you start getting a bunch of AI-generated games or even games with a lot of AI stuff, and people are like... Because people are already like, what the fuck is this horse shit, right? If you get all these games coming out, potentially, people are going to be like, you know what? I'm going to go for another hobby. I don't want to pay $80 for this Drek. And I think that might be the thing that breaks the gaming industry. You know? What do you guys think about that?
AI is definitely going to be the downfall, though. We see a lot of backlash.
Okay, so you agree then?
Yeah, and people can sniff it, though. That's the thing. We're seeing that, right? With the images and other things, whether the six finger and all that other. People are picking up on this, and we're seeing it in the writing as well. Right?
Oh, so yeah. No, Adam, and to prove your point, and actually lead to my point too, why did the game industry crash in the first place in '83? Because people were like, I'm tired of these shitty games. I'm not buying them anymore. I think the same thing may happen if you start getting a bunch of, I'm not going to say AI games specifically, but games that use a lot of AI. People will be like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to buy this stuff. I'm good, you know?
And it's not going to be as impressive like when we hear about, oh, this game was made by one person. Yeah. And now, we're like, oh, wow, that must be amazing. He did all the work stuff. And then give it a year or so, one person, like, it got to be all AI. It's one guy with a nice AI bot computer, and he spitting all the shit out for him, and he slapped his name on it, and he's like, look what I made.
Yeah, but I could be wrong, but that's just something I've just had stuck in my head ever since the Google I/O thing. You know, if you guys saw that presentation. What do you think about that, Carlos? My crazy theory.
Well, it's definitely a possibility. It just really depends. I don't know how exactly. We all know AI is going to be involved with gaming in a really significant way. Yeah. So that's inevitable. I just have no clue how it's going to look. Obviously, there is. I feel like where it'll propagate the worst way would be sort of in the indie space, because I feel like that's where most people just be like using AI for everything. So everything will be looking like kind of with that AI stank that'll probably have.
Yeah.
So, but AAA, I don't know. Obviously, these companies are going to use AI just to, cut costs in every place they can. I just have no clue where or how that'll look, especially like in 5-10 years from now. Because, just to give AI some credit, there is some stuff that looks pretty good. Like, even though it might not be ethically good in a lot of stuff, in a lot of senses, but there are stuff that is pretty impressive. So I just don't know, man. I would go no in terms of crashing the video game industry, but there will be its side effects, and I will guarantee this: we will complain about AI in the future.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Because think about it, you're already seeing AI written books and shit. There's gonna be fucking AI movies. It's gonna happen with games too. And I think people are gonna be like, you know what, this sucks. I'm not buying this, and they're gonna check the fuck out. I think
streamers.
That's what I'm saying. I think people are just gonna check out. Like, I'm done. I'm good.
Because a lot of this stuff is not dropping in price. So it's not like, oh, you get the AI one, we saved cost for staffing and stuff, and here's a discount price. It's not. So people are going to see AI, and we're like, why am I going to support that? I want actually humans. So forget about gender problems and all that. No, I want a human. Flesh and blood. Can you do that? Can you put like a fellow human like me? In fact, I want to see a picture. I want to look up that person on the back of the box art or in the book. I want to make sure that's a real person and not an AI image of a person, because you see a lot of that too, right? You hear about on Facebook and stuff. There's chats, people having conversations with AI bots. They're not even real people.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like people just populating, jumping into every chat. Great post, great this. I'm like, oh, and you take a look and it's like all fake. A whole fake. It's like they're inflating these services are inflating their own numbers with fake bots for their people. So it's nuts. I don't get it.
I'll say this, and this is playing devil's advocate to my own fucking point, but I have to throw this in here. There is also the possibility that people won't care, right? I know Manny had a conversation with somebody, and it upset him because it upset me too, where the guy basically told him, I don't give a shit if it's AI generated. If the content's good, I'm going to support it. I think gamers are a little bit pickier than the normal person, but there's probably still a good amount of gamers. I'll be like, I don't give a fuck if Call of Duty's AI generated. If it's good, I'll buy it. That's a reality too,
It's the same thing with it's all about authenticity.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to Manny, it's clearly obvious why he's not a fan of it, because
same thing with me.
It infringes on, it infringes on artists.
Yeah.
But kind of, and it's not only hurtful for artists, but it's sort of insulting in the way that artists are.
And you see what they're doing with the voices and how they can just recreate. What's stopping them? I say within the next 5 years or so, let's say we have another Mission Impossible, but it'll be the AI version of Tom Cruise. It'll look like him. It'll sound like him. It'll be stuck forever in that version. And I'm like, damn, how did he do? We're seeing him get old. He's in his 80s, but there's another Mission Impossible, and it's still him in his like 50s or 60s running around. And that's going to be the future. We're going to see all of that happening because we're already seeing it. We're seeing it in all these other.
You saw the whole Darth Vader thing, right?
Yeah, the Darth Vader thing, or even with the Indiana Jones movie. You didn't see it, I know, but with the voice, they did the younger version looking of him for Indiana Jones, and then they tried to add old man voice. They should have did some of this AI with the younger version. It would have matched up better, but still, they're going in that direction. We can't believe anything. Everything is fake.
It is all fake, yeah. That's my main worry, because I admittedly, a lot of us here, on this podcast are like more artistic minded. So we are kind of naturally like averse to this technology, but I think most regular people don't give a fuck. And that's where it may not hurt gaming. It'd be like, I don't give a fuck. If this game is just as good as something made by a human, I'll play it. I don't care. And that may be a real thing. But what I think is going to happen, and I'm talking about for all entertainment, in general, I think we're going to go through a period where we're going to get a lot of AI shit, and then people will be tired of it, and then things will come back around, and people will want things made by actual humans. The problem is, in between that time, you're going to have a lot of fucking jobs lost, you know? It's upsetting. I'm being dead ass right now, bro. I try not to think about this shit. And I'm being real right now. There's not a lot of things that upset me. I'm generally a pretty laid back dude. When I really think about this shit, AI, I get genuinely fucking depressed, you know? So, fuck, man. Not good. Like, Carlos, I'm watching this fucking Google shit, I.O., and I'm watching this, bro, and my thought is like, stop this. Stop. Yeah. You don't know what you're doing. This is insane. You know? It's like... Oh my God.
Think about it. If let's say they use AI for everything, for the movies, for music,
they are
for art, for writers. I know.
Adam, did you not see that fucking short movie they showed?
No. I get it, but the thing is that they're not. Who is going to buy all this AI content?
Normies.
People are out of the job. They're going to be out of the job. Normies, what? That work at fast food. Eventually, we'll have robots to serve them.
Yeah,
that shit too.
Fuck.
This is what I'm saying. It's like we have applications now that'll do your taxes for you. That'll do all your accounting. Don't need to hire those people anymore. You know, I think the only thing that until they make robots is construction. You want a secure job, get into construction, manual labor.
That's it. You know, become a fucking electrician or something.
There you go.
You know, fuck. What are you gonna say, Carlos? And I got another point I gotta make. I go off on this whole AI shit. Now I'm getting upset.
Yeah, it's not. You know, I wasn't as upset with you on the Google I/O stuff as you, but I did remember. I talked to my friend who works at Google. I'm like, yo, can you keep up with all this stuff? Because it was a lot. It's like AI this, AI that, and I'm like, so what's the difference? Like, it was weird because they were saying like 12 different things that had AI in it, and it just seemed like it was like the same thing. But yeah.
You know, I said this I said this last week when I was hanging out with the homies. Remember how the joke used to be, you know, oh, learn how to prompt, learn to code. Now it's going to be learn to prompt.
Yeah.
Ain't that something? And then you're going to have AI making prompts. And then it's like a fucking Ouroboros, man.
Shoot. I remember making websites doing HTML and buying books on HTML and how to make hyperlinks.
Learn to prompt.
And then Dreamweaver came out and it's like just drag and drop shit. I'm like, what the hell? And now it's even easier than that.
Did you guys see fucking the Google presentation? They were writing code right there live, bro. You guys are out of a fucking job too. You know?
Believe this shit.
This is insane. Anyway, so that's coming to gaming. And I think that could potentially cause things to crash. I think it's just going to be entertainment industry crash, but it's going to be a lot of lost jobs between that. But then again, maybe normies don't give a fuck. You know, learn how to prompt, bro, or learn how to weld. I don't fucking know. You know, go raise some pigs in a fucking farm or something.
Farming, labor jobs, pretty much labor. That is guaranteed until they come up with robots to do that shit.
Caretaking.
Yeah, right. Somebody's got to take care of old people. You know,
that's a lot of work. I don't got patience for that shit. Like, I shit myself again. I'm out.
Wipe yourself down, bro. I got time for that.
Wipe my ass. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. All right. Let's end off on some fun stuff. We got to talk about Street Fighter, bro. So the Street Fighter movie, we've talked about this. Street Fighter movie is coming, but now they're seeking some individuals, namely. It's just not official. They just want to talk to these guys to get them on board. You know, so nothing's official yet. So they want to get Jason Momoa, Andrew Koji, Noah Centineo, and Roman Reigns. Yeah. So yeah,
for your tattoo.
Yeah, that's what people want, you know? I think it'll be fucking hilarious because people are already, how come he's not Asian? They got to get an Asian character, you know?
He's Samoan, Polynesian. Yeah, that's still on the border.
My thing is like, I understand Akuma is Japanese, but Roman Reigns looks like fucking Akuma. Just get the fucking hair on him.
Yeah, that's why. And he did that. He had the man bun for a while.
Remember, you're talking to a hardcore Akuma guy here. And I don't know Roman Reigns. I just know the name. I know the face. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? I don't care. But to be honest, to be fair, I'm saying that because I'm not going to watch this movie. So like, you could get fucking, Rebecca Romaine Stamos or something to play Akuma. I don't give a fuck.
Damn. But why? Why won't you?
I'm done. I'm done with these fucking movies. I'm done with these. Like, hey, remember nostalgia? Watch this. I'm done with that shit.
But it's not going to be as bad as the one they did with Van Damme. It can't be that bad.
No, but here's the thing, man. I saw that fucking Mortal Kombat movie. Awful.
Oh, don't watch
absolute
those.
Trash. So
the animated ones are better. Don't watch any of the live action ones. They don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I'm talking about the last one, not the original Mortal Kombat. That was a good movie. The original Mortal Kombat. That was dope. I'm talking about that bullshit one.
They had Fear Factory. That's all I remember from that.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about that bullshit one that had an HBO Max during the pandemic.
Yeah. With Jack and his arm.
But again, again, they could do whatever they want to cast. I'm not watching this fucking movie. Just like I'm done with comic book movies. I'm done with this shit too. Like, I'm good.
No.
Why would Adam? I'm not stopping you. You can watch it all you want.
No, we were gonna watch it together.
Oh man. So, Rich, what are your thoughts on this, man? Are you gonna be there day one because your boy Roman Reigns is gonna be there?
Roman Reigns.
Well, I do believe that Roman Reigns will accept the offer because he's made it very clear that he does plan to transition out of wrestling in the next couple of years.
And that's a big name. That's a big name in the gaming world, especially in the fighting game world. It's not like he's like a sub character. Oh, you were part of some DLC shit. No, that's a mainstay. He's a big part of it. Akuma. So, yeah. Do that hurricane kick.
And the other thing is that he, we obviously, Adam and I watch wrestling. We have seen this guy transform and put the time in, because I believe when he was in the Shield, even when he branched out onto his own, he was taking acting classes. And I was wondering, why was he doing all of that? And then I find out that he becomes this tribal chief character, and that got super over with the fans. So yeah, it would make sense for him to transition into something else. But as for the comment that Tony made, I don't have any interest in seeing this movie because, I will say I want to see some trailers to see whether or not it's going to be good. But for some reason I cannot forget the last Street Fighter movie that I saw with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, you didn't watch The Legend of Chun-Li?
Oh no!
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
I don't want to see Marky Mark come back as Ryu or some shit. They do that, then I'll check out. Then I'm like, all right, I'm done. All right.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But I will say this: I do want to encourage everybody. If you're looking for a review of the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 movie, our very good friend, Mr. Carlos Romero, will be telling us about that on the show, because he is definitely going to see that day one.
Carlos.
Quote a great philosopher. Oh, hell no.
Oh, man. But yeah, besides Adam, is anyone excited for the Street Fighter live action movie?
I wouldn't say excited. I'm just intrigued.
You're Carlos. I'll bring it down a notch for you. You're curious.
All right, so
I'm curious.
Question. Do we know? Is it in theaters or is it going to be streaming only?
I have no idea.
No, I think this will be in theaters.
I think because Legendary Entertainment. Yeah.
Legendary. Oh, so it's Legendary. All right, so. They got a budget, because that's really what it comes down to, right? Budget. Unless these dudes are just running around, not really doing the fights or doing the special effects and stuff, because they're going to be shooting fireballs, right? We're going to see that.
Hopefully. Go ahead, Rich.
I do have one thing I do want to say. I do like that actor, the Andrew actor, because that's the guy that plays Bruce Lee in the Warrior Show. But I don't know if he can be a good Ryu. So I'm a little, that's.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, that's who people think is going to be Ryu, and the other guy, Noah. They think he's going to be Ken.
He could, but he could also be. What's the dude that was supposed to be Bruce Lee in the game? What's that guy's name? Remember?
Fei Ling.
Yeah, he could be Fei Ling with the kicks.
Well, Fei Ling could be Fei Long. Yeah. You know.
There you go.
So no, he was good. I missed. Did you ever watch that show, Warriors? Oh, Warriors.
I saw the movie Warriors. You know.
Yeah, no, but this it was a Bruce Lee, his show, and then of course they didn't want to make it in the show when he was alive, but they turned it into his show now. Really good, really good.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, by the way, Manny's not here, but he brought up a theory, and I kind of agree with him on this one. Because people are like, who the fuck is Jason Momoa going to play? Manny, this is Manny's theory, and I think he might be right about this. Jason Momoa is going to play, quote unquote, that guy, the stand-in for the audience. You know, the guy that gets everything explained to him. Oh, this is the world of Street Fighter. The last Mortal Kombat movie had one of those guys. You know,
yeah, but he's a big Diesel dude. They're gonna give him. He's got to be one of the main characters.
Oh no, I think this is just my theory now. I think he's gonna be playing Johnny World Tour.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny World Tour is for if you play Street Fighter World Tour mode. He is your player created character and shit that goes throughout the world to beat the other Street Fighters.
maybe, or maybe.
That obviously Johnny World Tour is not his official name. It's just the name the fans have given him. But I think he could be the guy. He goes into World Tour mode, goes all around the world, meets the Street Fighters and shit.
he really unleashed his comedy chops in the Minecraft movie. I really liked his character in that movie. I was like, oh shit, all right, so he could pull it off. He could do the comedy. Some guys can't really do it, but he was delivering it.
We don't want too much comedy in this fucking movie, you know?
Yeah. So, damn.
I'll say this though. You know what? I'll give you a little bit of hope. If you get some really, really, really hot girls to play Cammy and Chun-Li, then I'll consider it. Like they gotta be hot as fuck. You know?
Who can we get? Who can we get? I don't know.
You get Sydney Sweeney to play fucking Cammy. I'm there day one, bro. With them big ass titties, you know.
There we go.
There you go, Adam. There's your hope. Sydney Sweeney, Cammy. I'm there day one. You know.
There was somebody I had in mind for the one that does the breakdancing. That she does the fighting in the.
Kimberly.
Yes. We got to have somebody for her.
I don't know. I actually don't know a lot of modern actors, so I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I keep thinking Michelle Rodriguez.
You watch like fucking 50 shows a minute. How do you know all the actors?
But I don't know. Not with this. Like it's most of. I gotta admit, most of them are just dudes shooting at each other in the face and
fucking Reacher and shit. Hey, there you go, brother. That motherfucker could be Guile. You know,
Reacher could be. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he could be Guile. Perfect. There you go.
Sonic Boom.
Yeah, Alan Rickerson. Yeah. We could put him in it. There you go. Oh yeah, you know what? And the chick that's in there, she could definitely do it. Yeah, you know what? There's some people.
Yeah. What's up?
Rich? They definitely should try to get some of those actors in Cobra Kai because some of those kids probably a bit maybe too young for some of the roles, but that's something to consider. If this is successful and it continues to be other movies and stuff like that.
That's if they stick to all that. I feel like
Sketch says Florence Pugh can be Cammy. No, I'm tired of seeing that fucking bitch. No more. I'm tired of her.
From?
She's that bitch from Oppenheimer, the one that kills herself.
The girl from Oppenheimer's.
Remember
Thunderbolts.
Yeah, she's that chick too.
Oh yeah, the Thunderbolts too. I fell asleep during that movie.
I don't blame you.
I did not do. I swear, when I saw these, be like, "Oh, just as good as Guardians of the Galaxy." I'm like, "Where's the downvote?" Because you're just setting me fucking lies right now. There's no way that's anywhere near the Guardians of the Galaxy quality. And people, they swear by it. They're like, "Oh, this is fantastic, Thunderbolts."
Because they're fucking idiots. That's why.
I don't get it. I don't see it.
Just lapping up that Marvel slop, you know.
I can't.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, let me see. When is this fucking movie supposed to come out? Doesn't say. It's just it's not even in production. They're just getting ready, you know. So we'll see.
Yet another video game film to go down the drain.
Brian, I got a question for you, man. Do you think this is what Hollywood is going after now? Video game movies, since comic book movies are shitting the bed.
Yep. especially after the success of the Mario film as well as Minecraft.
Yeah,
I think this will be and I hate to say this, but the Sonic films.
Yeah, they've all done well. They're horrible movies, but they're doing well.
They're fun though. They're fun. Like when I take the kids to see that, and everyone's laughing and stuff.
No. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying that they've made 3 of them, so they must be doing well to make 3 of them.
There's gonna be another one.
People are watching them. Yeah. No, but Brian, you're right. So, 3 Sonic movies, the Minecraft, you have the Mario. That's enough for Hollywood to go, this is what we're gonna jump on now.
And especially with The Last of Us as well, as a TV show doing.
And people like people like the Fallout show.
Yeah, Fallout's coming. We also got God of War. Remember that series is coming to Amazon Prime. So we got another one.
Gears of War's coming.
Who knows when? Yeah, that was.
What's up, Rich?
If Sony is listening to this podcast, no more Until Dawn movies, please. Get that trash out of here. No more of that garbage.
What did you call it, Rich?
Really based off the movie?
Until Yawn.
Garbage.
Until Yawn.
That's it. Yeah, Until Yawn. Complete garbage.
If they do something like that, they have to have some kind of interactive element. Like, hey, there's an app for your phone, and as you're watching the movie, based off of everyone that presses whatever option in the movie, that's when it'll splice in that scene. That's when that'll be entertaining, like they did with the Netflix. They did that with Netflix.
It sounds like Adam should have been brought in to consult for this movie. That's a phenomenal idea. And whoever made this is like, well, to hell with what the game was. I'm making my own damn movie now. So
we've seen
that's exactly what it was.
Adam, not you got this. You know what should happen in the intermission for Street Fighter? Everybody has to go beat up a car.
That'd be cool. Or at least you get with your popcorn bucket. You get like a lid and it has a little car on top, and then it has all the dentable stuff in it. You know, remember those where you can like hit
It's funny. When I was at Industry City this weekend, there was a kid in a book off, right? There was this kid playing the Super Famicom version of Street Fighter, and he's at the stage. He's Chun-Li, and he's facing the car, and he's just hitting it with his hands. I'm like, dude, the kicks, do the fucking kicks.
You just got to match one buy-in.
Dude, you know how hard it was for me not to grab that fucking controller? I'm like, let me show you how I did it when I was your fucking age. Yeah, because Chun-Li, Honda, and Blanca, the easiest to break that fucking car. Just fucking hit the button. So yeah, they got to add that into the movie somehow.
I'm sure they'll piss. Oh, there you go. It'll be the Johnny World over there. They'll smash up his car.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Jason Momoa should be Johnny World Tour. He just goes around the world, beats up the Street Fighters. It'll be hilarious. And
that's another thing. It's like, which are they going to go based off of one of the games, or just like that, just from the most recent, and do the World Tour element of like people traveling around? Kicking
World Tour wouldn't be bad. I mean, that thing had a story.
It did.
Yeah. So maybe, or maybe he's playing on Bison.
Starts pulling everybody's shit.
I still find it funny how that movie, obviously, not well received or anything, but that line became immortal, The day Bison graced your village with his presence was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. Great fucking line. Oh, man. Bro was infuriating. Mash the damn button. That's right, Jeffrey. You were there. Like, give me that. I'll take that controller. You fucking kid. That's how you do it. I swear that kid must have been like 10 years old and shit. That's how old I was when I was playing Street Fighter, bro.
Maybe he doesn't play it.
Maybe, man. Street Fighter, when that shit dropped, bro, fuck. Anyway, last thing we're gonna talk about Street Fighter. Akuma is coming to Monster Hunter Wilds. I was not expecting this one. I knew there was a Street Fighter collaboration. I've been teasing this shit the whole week. Like was it down? Like you have down forward or something like that. But yeah, basically it's gonna be a skin you could put, like a layered armor, I should say. You could put over yourself. But the layered armor also comes with different moves and shit. You see him doing a Shoryuken. That's actually an offset attack. So you're gonna have to time that right. Which is very much like Street Fighter. You could do your Hadoukens, you do the Hurricane kick. And if you saw the end of the trailer, and I hope this is in the game, the Raging Demon is in that shit. Remember that move, Adam, where like Akuma just like, and then he like does like a million hits and shit.
A million hits, and does he do the doubles hurricane kick? And like, remember, he curls up.
Yeah, he curls up. Yeah, he's like, and then hits you down and shit. Yeah. But he's doing this shit on giant monsters. It's great. And then then even the way he set up, he's fighting a monster. Then like he knocks a monster down. It's like KO. Just like in Street Fighter 6, and they're playing a bunch of Street Fighter 6 music over it. So this is.
I wonder, does everyone see the KO? Like, if he gets the final, do you all see it, or does?
Yeah, I think they just added that for the trailer.
That'd be cool though.
That
right?
would be KO.
He's like, KO.
I want to see a whole team of Akumas just punching monsters.
Forget about the team. You know that if this works out, is this paid DLC or free?
Oh, I don't know. It's a good question.
Because then if this is pay and it does well, get ready to see everybody else show up.
Yeah.
You'll get Sagat, you'll get Ken.
Well, we'll see, because Brian, I'm pretty sure you're going to speak on this. Akuma was in Rise, so I guess it was an easy way to bring him in.
Oh yeah, he was in Rise again as layered armor. I think layered armor is free.
Yeah, it is free. Thank you, Sketch.
Tied to a quest.
Yeah.
So we'll find out what the quest is. Hopefully, it's not an arena quest or something dumb. Just normal hunt. But I think that they have DLC. Well, I say I think they have DLC for their handler.
Yes, that's paid DLC.
Someone else, and that's paid.
Shout out to the homie Sketch who's giving us all this info right now. So Brian, check this out. Cammy and Chun-Li changed for Alma, and the Palico, which is Blanca-chan, that's all paid. But Akuma's free. Brian, did you get to play as Akuma in Rise?
Oh yeah, that was what I did after I found out that he was there and how to unlock him.
So how did he work?
How did you not tell this? Yo, Tony, why is he keeping secrets?
You can play Rise.
This dude has his cap. He's got a tattoo.
To be fair, we didn't play Rise, so why would he have to tell us? You
would have played it then. You would have been like, I gotta go play it.
I don't know about that. Ironically, I do have it now. I'll talk about that in a bit. Go ahead.
Carlos knows exactly what I'm about to say now to Adam.
Uh-oh.
I haven't been paying attention, to be honest. So
you fucked it up.
I know.
Okay, so basically, Adam was saying that why didn't I tell him that Akuma was in Rise? So can you probably guess what I'm going to say?
Did you get the emails?
Exactly. You didn't check your emails.
You didn't check the emails.
Adam, what are you doing?
See, even Adam conceded he didn't get the email.
I didn't get the emails.
We got the emails.
In fact, I gotta check my emails because I'm expecting some shit. Hold on.
So yeah, he did have the Shoryuken as an attack, which is good. It was mostly how it worked is if you played as sword and shield, then you didn't have any weapons on you, so hence you just do your normal attacks as your fist, which was really cool. It seems to be the same thing because I've seen him do the backstep, which is the exact same backstep that the sword and shield has. So I'm guessing that it's the exact same idea. So that's gonna be great. But also you can use your normal weapon if you wish, and he'll just use that. I don't know how the fireballs work. If that's going to be some sort of attack or what exactly. So I'm eager to find out. And the fact that it's layered means that you can change the colors. So I'm guessing that you can get some sort of matching of different types of Akuma. But this is the Street Fighter 6 Akuma, right? With the beard.
So what about doing the moves though? Because you're not horizontal, right? You're still in third person.
Yeah. So I heard it's like it's like a shortcut, right, Brian? Is that what it is? Like, you know how you bring up your radio menu and shit? I think that's how you do it. You just select it from your radio menu.
Yes. I think it depends what it is, because some of them are like not taunt, but like I guess dances. I don't know what the kids call it these days.
Okay.
Slash dance is what I used to call it. Dance. So it's basically a emote. Yeah, emote. Yeah. So some of them might be emotes, because I think that in World they had emotes for Street Fighter.
They did. They did.
See, and that was what I was just thinking right now when you were talking about the World and how you interact. Remember, and you're about to fight, then it would like zoom in, and now you're in like your standard, side by side fighting. What if they did that with the monsters?
Imagine that.
You go to fight, he's like, and it like rotates around, and now there you go, horizontal. Here, look, fight.
Hilarious. Couple of things here. Sketch says, Paid DLC will also have the Hadouken and Tatsu gestures. You can use those gestures outside of having the Akuma armor. Without the Akuma armor and without the gestures, you cannot use them. They are gestures. Okay, so that answers that.
Yeah, it's like Fortnite then when they put their emotes. You can
kind of, yeah. Oh, Brian, here, check it out. To snag these free add-ons, you'll be tasked with completing a new side mission called Ultimate Strength. The quest will only be available to hunters at hunter rank 21 or higher, so be sure to rank up before the event. Okay, so we got to do an event. It makes sense, you know. Okay, here we go. Players must speak with the Vespe unit handler Quinn to start the quest at the oil well base and base camp. Other arena quests such as Demonic Strength and True Strength will be available to earn even more free content. And if you can't get to the special mission right away, don't fret. Capcom states that after its addition as a free update, this collaboration will be a permanent addition to the game. Well, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
only
there.
that permanent. Whenever I hear like other IPs coming into games, and I get it's the same owners.
They've done it before, you know. Yeah, they've done it.
I just think about like what happened with my Ghost Recon Wildlands, and they added the Predator, and that was a great combination of adding that. And then 1 minute they're like, "Oh, we lost the license because Disney bought all of that stuff," and they ripped the shit right out of the game.
Oh man!
So they're like, "Oh, want to play Predator? He's gone. He's not in the jungle anymore."
Yeah, well, all that stuff. I mean, like they had the collaboration with The Witcher. That stuff's still there, you know. The last game,
sometimes you have them and they stay, and that was the thing. It was like they said, "Oh, this will be permanent. It's always going to be in the game," and until somebody else bought this shit, it's like, "Nope, we don't want that."
Yeah, and The Witcher
one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The weirdest one was in World when they did a collaboration with the Monster Hunter movie, and then something happened, and they had to take that out. And I was like, but it's a Monster Hunter movie. Like you collaborated with yourself.
It makes no sense. But yeah, there was another Street Fighter thing. There are Street Fighter skins in Overwatch 2. I don't know if anybody's caught that. Looks kind of interesting. I don't play Overwatch, so I don't know.
I don't play Overwatch.
But they did, you know, to me, they did a pretty good job with the Street Fighters. And the last thing, I don't have this in the show notes, but this is something I wanted to say. These are the collaborations people want, right? Game content with other game content. Adam, you weren't here for this. The Fatal Fury game, the one with Ronaldo, they spent millions of dollars on this game. The game fucking flopped.
Oh my god!
This was the worst selling SNK game in years.
Shit. How much are they charging for that?
$60, not even $70, $60.
Not even $60.
They had it at WrestleMania. They had all these fucking buses for everything. Ronaldo, the game fucking flopped, right? This, you know, I said this before. If you would have had collaborations like this, it would have been better. Maybe it wouldn't get you as much media attention, but it would get actual fans excited, you know? This is how you do a collaboration. Get a game within a game. Don't get fucking soccer players and shit. Go ahead.
I'm going to say something. I think they're not hitting the age group. The younger audience probably doesn't even know about that franchise.
No, but listen.
We do.
Yeah, we do. But even a lot of people, even our age, don't know what the fuck Fatal Fury is.
You see? So there you go. So then it's poor job on them really getting the younger audience or just keeping it relevant. So that way when a new one comes out, I'm like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. I want to play this.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm not going to retread old stuff because I said this already, but I'm saying it more for you, Adam. I'm like, this franchise hasn't been around for 26 years. Nobody knows it anymore. Build it back up slowly, you know? You could justify spending this kind of money on King of Fighters. People know King of Fighters. You know why? Because we get a new King of Fighters game every 3 years, you know? But this was not the game to do this for, you know? And now you have these two characters that kind of ruined the game. You know, so hopefully,
and you know it's funny too. Even with the big soccer player or that DJ,
nobody cared, bro.
And no one
because there were not only did people not care, but there were also people who were turned off. They were like, I don't want to play this shit now. You know, especially with Ronaldo, they were like, you know, because people, even though nothing has been gone to court, they're like, oh, the fucking rapists and shit. You know,
whoa,
I'm not. Yeah, that's people like, oh, they were like. because the accusations that were
you
never
can't
went to
keep doing
court.
something like that. No.
You know how people are, bro. And then the other one, the Saudi money. I understand that. I
get that. That'll always be an issue because they're everywhere. They're throwing this shit everywhere. We see it with wrestling, right, Rich? I mean, they bring in special events and stuff. They want the Royal Rumble out in Saudi land. We saw the World Cup go out. Yeah.
Did you see a little bit off topic? But the last Canelo fight, it was like at 6 a.m. over there.
Oh yeah, they did the fight.
Yeah, so they
couldn't do that.
Oh, the Saudis, real quick, Sketch says the man who wanted a Primal Rage return. I still want it, but I know it's not going to sell well. Primal Rage, you would need to bundle that into something like some kind of other collection, because Primal Rage by itself, nobody but me and Manny would care. Let's just be honest here. And I'm not saying this to shit on Fatal Fury. Fatal Fury, fantastic franchise. You wouldn't have modern fighting games without Fatal Fury. But I'll be the first guy to tell you nobody knows what the fuck Fatal Fury is. The only hope I can see is like, put this shit on Switch 2, and maybe you could have some kids going, oh, that's the old Pokemon handler, Andy Bogard. I'll buy this game. Because when it hadn't been smashed, people thought, oh, that's the old Pokemon handler. Because he got the hat and everything. He's got the jacket. So hopefully that'll help. But this was not the game to put this money into, man. Very bad. But going back, yes. This is the kind of collaboration you want to see. You want to see Akuma and Monster Hunter. That's cool shit. You want to see Street Fighters and Overwatch. That's cool shit. Ronaldo and fucking Fatal Fury, not cool. All right, so wrapping up another good show. Adam, what's going on with the TV terminal?
Oh man, well, let's see. We got a lot. All right, so let's see. Let's start with tonight. We got Murderbot episode 3 for season 1. That's over on the channel, over on YouTube, the TV terminal, or you go on the Coalition. It'll be there on the Coalition as well. We also have for Mobland. This is episode 9. We're coming close to the end. That is a fantastic show. If you like Guy Ritchie type stuff with UK mobsters and all that, and a lot of murder and things blowing up and people getting stabbed and craziness, that's the show to watch. And we've been doing a lot with that one. That's a good one. And then, of course, Sunday's the big one. It's The Last of Us season 2, episode 7. This is the season 2 finale. We'll see how far they go with all this, because we already know there's a season 3 that's going to be all about Abby, which no one's going to watch by then. So let's see how they end it to explain that. I wonder if there's going to be that cutoff, if it's just the episode's just going to end when you're now just, at least in the game, remember where they did that full switch and now we're spending like another 2-3 hours as Abby. I wonder if that's what they're going to do. But yeah, so we got a lot that we're covering. Those are the 3 shows, and that's it. Go check it out. The TV terminal, either on YouTube or you can find it over on thecoalition.com.
All right. And speaking about the Coalition, Rich, what's going on with the Coalition this weekend?
Yeah, so Mr. Adam Vale, myself, and Carlos, we will be reviewing the next episode of The Walking Dead, Dead City. Very underwhelming season so far, ladies and gentlemen. But
this series so far has been dead.
But our show is without a doubt the best discussion show. So yeah, definitely.
We explain why.
Yeah. So look out for that. That'll be coming this weekend. There's a couple other things that are in the works. Of course, Summer Game Fest is right around the corner, and I've already been working different things for that, so stay tuned, because you'll see some stuff starting next week, a couple of reviews, a couple of previews, stuff like that. I think that's all I could talk about for now, because a lot of stuff is under an embargo, so
that's right. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to plug, but another fun show. I feel like I'm missing something, but we'll figure it out. Because Monster Hunter is not going to be this weekend. It's going to be next weekend. So stay tuned for another stream. All right, we're done here. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. Join the Discord and check us out on your favorite podcast app. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good weekend. An extended weekend, holiday. Happy
Yeah, yeah.
Memorial Day.
Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
and Brian Majoma.
We've not heard any news from Ubisoft in a while. Are they okay?
Oh, we didn't have our weekly
the Division
Ubisoft
is coming.
L.
Well, this week it should be a big one because we got the Division DLC coming out, the Brooklyn one. So
Let's see how many players are on that one.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday. Later.